Okay, hello everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us for what an epic weekend. Wow, I know I am very exhausted. I'm so happy to be here though with Bia Labachi and Clancy Kavnar. It's the first time we've been together since before COVID, and it's really wonderful. What an amazing conference. We just have a few closing announcements before sending everyone off into the next chapter. So I just want to remind people that all the sessions were recorded, and so we will be sending those out. We ask that you just be patient with us. It might take a few days because we need to download and upload them all, but we will send out all the videos so you can rewatch them. I know I'm going to want to because it was a lot. So yeah, look out for that email. We'll also be following up with some other information by email, feedback form, and some other stuff. The connection room is going to stay open after this, so you're welcome to go there and continue to connect with each other and chat. That will be open until 9 p.m. tonight, Pacific time, so another hour and a half or so. And the booths will also be open, so go check out the booths if you haven't already, and the networking and connect with each other, share info. I want to give a few final thank yous to, not enough time to name everyone, but I definitely want to thank all our sponsors. It's amazing, you help make this conference possible. All our speakers, our great team at Chacruna, amazing volunteers, all our community partners, and of course all the attendees. And I want to share some numbers for those. We had 1,100 attendees. Out of those, we gave out 645 scholarships. So thank you for all of the sponsors who helped make that possible. We had 94 speakers and moderators. We had 26 community partners. We had 23 sponsors. And yes, I thought I had another number, but
270 patron members.
Yes, and so I also want to thank our members and all our donors, and I want to invite everyone to join our Patreon and check that out if you want to get access to our special member-only events or discounts or free access to our community forums, which are starting up again next week. Please check out our Patreon. We have our Discord server too, where you can continue the discussion about the conference and lots of other issues. And we have our next community forum coming up next week, May 5th, featuring 3 Black women voices in the psychedelic community. So that should be really great. You can check out the link we're going to post in the chat. And all the recordings of our previous community forums as well are available. And then we have some other events coming up as well. We have an event on May 18th that we're co-sponsoring that Bia is going to be featured at, along with David Bronner, who is here this weekend, and some other speakers, Alex Feiner, who was here, spoke today. And that's going to be on psychedelic patenting and ownership. So that should be very interesting. We'll post the link to that. I also want to share about the incredible debate that Bia just participated in that was released a couple days ago, right before the conference. It was one of our biggest events in terms of publicity. It's going to be released on NPR, and she was joining Rick Doblin of MAPS in a debate with 2 other folks arguing around should psychedelics be legalized. So that is really interesting, and definitely check that out. What else? T-shirts. You'll see we have our Chacruna T-shirts available. If you want to rep Chacruna and show your support, we have these great T-shirts that are available for sale online. So please check those out. And then I want to mention our Indigenous Reciprocity Initiative, which just launched, and I'm going to have Bia share a little bit more about that. But you can find more info in the expo booth and on the website. So we're going to post that. And we're also in the final month of our fundraiser we're doing for the Church of the Eagle and Condor, the Ayahuasca Freedom Initiative, that we're working to raise money to petition the DEA for around ayahuasca freedom. So you can learn more about that. So lots going on. So I really invite you to stay connected with Chacruna, stay connected with each other. And I'm going to actually now bring on Glauber, our director of America in Brazil, and he is going to share a little bit more. So here is Glauber.
Thank you, Josh. É quase meia-noite aqui no Brasil. Eu estou no meio das montanhas e me sentindo assim muito, muito feliz. Durante a conferência, eu estava pensando no grande Terence McKenna, que falou uma vez, né, para a gente evitar seguir gurus e seguir plantas. Mas essa conferência eu estava aprendendo e ouvindo de pessoas tão incríveis, né, essas falas tão especiais, e eu percebi que as plantas não estão sozinhas, né? Elas estão conectadas com as culturas tradicionais, com o conhecimento ancestral, com a resistência dos povos indígenas e os povos oprimidos do mundo. Então, eu acho que agora é hora de a gente dar um passo além do Terence McKenna, e eu amo o Terence McKenna. Nós temos que seguir as plantas, mas de um jeito que a gente respeita as suas tradições. A gente precisa construir pontes entre a ciência moderna e o conhecimento tradicional, receber as bênçãos das plantas sagradas, mas também retribuir de alguma maneira aos povos indígenas. E eu tenho assim a convicção de que essa conferência deu esse passo além. Eu sou brasileiro, a gente está vivendo esse momento terrível aqui com o Bolsonaro. É um governo genocida que está tentando destruir a floresta, destruir os povos indígenas. E foi tão incrível poder ver lideranças indígenas do Brasil, essas pessoas assim que são grandes protetoras das florestas e das plantas sagradas, apoiando o Chacruna, participando no nosso evento, desde os seus territórios sagrados indígenas na floresta amazônica. Isso só foi possível por causa do trabalho do Instituto Chacruna. Então, eu quero te agradecer muito, Bia, você sabe que eu sou seu fã número 1. Quero te agradecer, Josh, quero te agradecer, Clancy, eu estou vestindo a camisa da arte da Clancy aqui agora, e agradecer todo o time por essa conferência. Eu amo vocês, e uma vez um sábio disse que uma fronteira ela não é definida por algo que termina, quando algo termina, mas por algo, quando esse algo começa. Essa é a definição de fronteira, o início de alguma coisa. E essa conferência me faz acreditar verdadeiramente que uma fronteira foi cruzada em direção a um novo mundo e um novo tempo. Então, é uma honra estar aqui e hoje eu me sinto muito, muito, muito grato. Muito, muito obrigado. So, it's almost midnight here in Belo Horizonte, in the mountains of Brazil, and I feel very grateful to be here today. During this conference, I was remembering the great ethnobotanist, Terence McKenna, who once said, and I quote, "Avoid gurus, follow plants." And in this conference, hearing and learning from so many incredible people, I realized very clearly that the plants are not alone. They are strongly connected with traditional cultures, with ancestral knowledge, with the resistance of indigenous peoples and oppressed people of the world. So I think the time has come to take a step beyond Terence McKenna, and I love Terence McKenna, and I think we must follow the plants, but in a way that respects their traditions. We must build bridges between modern science and traditional knowledge. We must receive the blessings of the sacred plants and also give something back to indigenous people. And I strongly believe by heart that this conference has taken this step further. So I'm Brazilian. I know that Bolsonaro genocidal government is trying to destroy the forest, to destroy the indigenous people. And it was really touching. It was really wonderful to see these great indigenous leaders from Brazil, these great protectors of the forest and the sacred plants, supporting Chacruna's work and participating in our event from the indigenous sacred territories of the Amazon rainforest. And this was only possible because of the work of the Chacruna Institute. So I want to thank you very, very much, Bia. I'm the number one fan of your work, and I want to thank you very much, Josh. You did a tremendous work in this conference. I want to thank you, Bia, And to thank you, Clancy, as well. And I'm wearing a shirt which has Clancy art. And I bought it in the Amazon rainforest. And I want to thank you, the whole team of this great institution, Chacruna Institute. So I love you all. And just to finish, I want to say that a wise person once said that a border is not a place where something ends, but where something begins. So this conference makes me believe that we have crossed the border into a new and better world. So it's an honor to be here. Today I feel very, very, very grateful. Thank you very, very much. House, Ashe.
Hush,
Ashe. Thank you, Glauber. It's an honor to have you here. Next, we want to bring on Diana Negrin, who is our Director of Chacruna Latino America in Mexico.
Hola, hola, buenas noches a todos y todas y todes. Muchas gracias, Josh, Bia, Clancy, todo el equipo técnico. Esto a veces parece fácil, pero en realidad es traer tanta gente de tantos lugares y con tantas conexiones distintas es un gran éxito, y he pensado mucho en lo que esto significa después de esa gran conferencia que se dio en Ajijic en el 2018, y estoy muy agradecida de seguir siendo parte de este movimiento que para mí ha sido un tipo de espacio de asamblea, de diálogo, de intercambio a través de saberes, a través de disciplinas, a través de diferentes ontologías. Y creo que para mí, como alguien que está trabajando este lado desde México, me dio muchísimo gusto poder ser parte de 3 mesas como la traductora y escuchar las voces de los pueblos originarios que de alguna forma son tan celebrados por un lado, pero tan explotados por otro, y obviamente la psicodelia y el boom psicodélico desafortunadamente ha de alguna forma reproducido algunas de estas tendencias que han creado desconfianzas, que han sembrado relaciones explotativas, pero que por otro lado, creo que en este espacio de Chacruna vemos la gran posibilidad de atender esos problemas, de crear espacios más equitativos, y creo que empezamos eso a través de diálogos, a través de videos, de todo lo que vamos compartiendo todos los días a través de Chacruna. Estoy muy, muy feliz pues está Ibra Gabriel, que está ahí apoyando todo ese proceso aquí en México. Y yo creo que lo único que quisiera realmente recalcar, que para mí es un gran aprendizaje en estos años, es que, como dijo Santos Rentería, Sicuritema y hoy en la mesa de peyote, el peyote no es una planta. Desde la ontología wixárika es un territorio, es parte de relaciones, y no lo podemos aislar, no podemos tomar estas plantas y extraerlas de su contexto. Y todos estos pueblos, como dijo Glauber, están siendo, no nada más Bolsonaro, tenemos Manuel López Obrador aquí en México haciendo las mismas cosas desde un discurso de izquierda. Entonces tenemos que realmente atender eso, porque dentro de la psicodelia hay mucha gente progresista y de izquierda que desconoce la realidad de los pueblos y desconoce que para algunos, como el pueblo wixárika o como el pueblo mazateco o como el pueblo inga, llevan décadas, cientos de años luchando por su derecho de existir, y ahora están luchando por el derecho de que estas plantas sagradas también puedan seguir existiendo, y espero que a través de esta organización podamos avanzar eso de una forma interdisciplinaria, multilingüe. Hablamos español, portugués, inglés, pero también sabemos que hay muchas lenguas indígenas que también pueden ser parte de esta comunidad, y que lo son, y que yo espero en este año poder desarrollar más programación que centre esas voces. So I'm going to translate myself. I don't think I'll do as good of a job as Glauber, because Glauber did like a perfect translation, and I don't even know what I just said, but I'm gonna go with the flow. And I just want to thank everybody that's here in the public. I want to thank Josh and Bia and Clancy and the whole technical crew that made this possible. Sometimes it seems so easy, But now that we've been in more than a year of virtual conferences, we still run into the same, technical issues, connection problems, but it's amazing to be able to connect people from so many geographies, across disciplines, across cultures and languages, to share all of these forms of knowledge. And in my case, I really was floored by the 3 panels that I had the honor to translate and moderate that spoke to Mazatec, Inga, and Wixárika perspectives, right? And I think there's so much said about the destruction of these territories and how all of these territories, all of these communities, on the one hand are being celebrated, but on the other hand are being exploited. And I think that the psychedelic renaissance is walking a very fine line these days between support, advocacy, and knowledge production in a more equitable and horizontal way, as I think we're trying to do with Chacruna, and replicating some of the same capitalist and colonialist tendencies that do not center the voices, not just of indigenous people, but as we know, also one of the things that Chacrunas has been wanting to do is center the voice of Black communities, center the voices of queer communities, center the voices of those who have for so long been left out of this conversation. And I'm just so happy that after so many years, we've been able to continue to advance this. And I think the last thing I wanted to just end with is just to remember what so many of our speakers shared with us, which is this isn't just about an isolated plant, right? Peyote, within the Wixárika perspective, does not exist in isolation. It's deeply connected to a complex territory that is under various forms of threats. And so to learn these viewpoints and to try to respect them and to forge our own, as non-Indigenous people, in this case, as white Mexicans or Latin Americans or whatever, have a great responsibility to make sure that we continue to center these voices and create dialogue. So, obrigada, gracias, pamparius, thank you, merci, whatever, all these many languages. I hope that we can continue to build forward. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this work.
Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you for all your help this weekend and everything you do. Finally, I want to pass the floor to the psychedelic power couple, Clancy and Bia.
I just want to say that I have followed and also stalked Bia for many years, and from the very beginning when I first heard about ayahuasca and nobody else knew what it was, and I found what she was writing, to now this conference, it's been like she's always been my teacher in that area, and I just am so impressed with how quickly she learns and how easily she rebounds from the trials and episodes that she has in this field. So it's been my great pleasure and personal joy to know Bia and to be connected to her. And I just want to say that, like, the birth of Chacruna is something that came from her heart, and I hope that, like, all of the flowers that come from that are able to be appreciated by everybody in the future.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Clancy, Josh, Diana, Glauber, and all the team. We have been working on this conference for 1 year. We've been a team of volunteers and contractors, part-time employees. We are a very modest grassroots organization. It has been a true dream to bring this vision together. Our previous conference, Sacred Plants in the Americas 1 in Mexico, was an epic event that really changed a lot of us forever. I am incredibly touched with people accepting our invites, and you guys don't have an idea of the effort that was put on the backstages, especially from Indigenous people, to participate in this conference. We have had 24/7 movement of people renting hotel rooms, traveling to other cities, getting boats, doing all kinds of technological adaptations and inventions and efforts. All that effort that has been put here, all this that we are planting here, I am sure that these are like seeds that we're planting that will grow for years and years and years and spread a lot of love and wisdom and connections and change people's lives forever. I have been changed by conferences. I think conferences have this power of making connections, opening your mind. I was having this discussion with a donor the other day, and he said, but how can you measure the impact of what you do? What about culture? And how can you say what is the impact? How can you count? And I asked him, how much does an idea cost? Because what we're doing here is working on the cultural level. We are working on shifting paradigms. We are working on rewriting narratives. We're working on creating a new future and a new vision for us that respect these plants. We're not here messianic people trying to tell others that everybody has to drink this or that or take or this or that substance, or that this will heal and change everything. We're advocating for our rights and our protections. And we also want to walk the talk and keep accountable and give back. So it's our honor to bring together. This whole vision has followed this spirit of Chacruna, of honoring indigenous peoples as the founding fathers of this field. This didn't start in the 30s, didn't start in the 60s. It's not that the counterculture set us back. This has a much larger history. And this is the history that we need to talk about. And so we have created this resource, the Indigenous Reciprocity Initiative of the Americas. I want to invite everybody to visit our page and learn about it. It's a careful curation of 30 organizations, grassroots organizations by Indigenous people, for Indigenous people. And we are inviting all psychedelic enthusiasts and all new psychedelic business people, venture capitalists, techies, Silicon Valley, newcomers, actors and players to donate back to Indigenous people and to make an effort to rewrite this narrative, including Indigenous people in the forefront, people of color, women, and queer people, people from the global south, celebrating multiple languages, celebrating many plants, celebrating our beloved continent of the Americas. The plants don't know borders, and we don't know. We as people all belong to this journey together. We have been facing an incredible hard period in our history. It has been a truly incredible, challenging year. I miss so much my parents in Brazil. I miss traveling. I miss being together with other people. I want to invite everybody to extend the love that we feel here to the future, and tell us that there is hope and that we can build a new world and new realities. It's up to us. It's up to us to create things that are fulfilling, that speak to our soul, that our feelings of belonging to this beautiful human race and mysterious life without any certainty of what is there after in the visible world and what's going to happen to any of us. And it's such a stressful, challenging time. There is so much hatred, there is so much violence, there's so much genocide, and we're bringing some little piece of hope. We're not naive that this is, the end of the beginning of everything and this is it. It's just another contribution. If you believe in our cause, if you believe in what we're doing here, if you resonate with our vibe, I invite you, come join our movement. There is a voice for you. There's a space for you. We're extremely accessible. We're extremely modest. We're totally grassroots. We're based in the Bay Area, my new country. I want to celebrate, just filed for my citizenship. I want to celebrate the United States, my new home, this great states, this paradoxical land full of so much hatred, violence, craziness, this big nut madhouse, but at the same time, the birthright of all of the more dear rights and civil progressive movements, the queer movement, the Black movement, the women's movement, the counterculture, and the nest of the psychedelic renaissance. So we are in a renaissance, and we are here to stay. And I just debated this two old dinosaurs that were completely out of tune. And these people are praying for fear. They're trying to intimidate us, but we're staying cool. We're moving with our work, and our work is the combination of knowledge, excellency, empirical experience, and fun. I invite everybody also to just enjoy. We got everybody in Chacruna has got a nickname, and we very much like to do jokes, and that's our style. If you like us, become a member, donate to us, and we're going to put everything for free because that's what we do. We have 6 conferences entirely for free in Chacruna, and we are sharing and publishing articles 2-3 times a week. It's all free. That's our style. Support us, become a member, and keep on tuned. See you May 5th, one day before I become 50 years old, celebrating the voice of Black women in psychedelics. Much love from the Chacruna team, and thank you.
Thank you, everyone.